Hi, I know it's been a while. I've been exploring some 2D graphic libraries, especially P5 and Fabric, over the past couple of weeks, and I love how much they awaken the inner child in me. But I found something else, something bigger and better. Lifa. Lifa is, I don't know, it's not yet released, so it's like a secret. And it's also in Chinese. But really, what is Lifa? Lifa defines the blah blah blah. Actually, I think it's supposed to be a rendering engine. But let's just go straight to the point. Let's go back to Lifa-ui. Lifa-ui is an open source high performance official UI drawing framework based on Lifa. It provides commonly used UI components, facilitating data exchange with products such as Figma and Sketch, and offers unified and rich interactive events for cross-platform development. I don't know about you, but this is definitely getting interesting. It is dedicated to realizing a simple, open, and modern UI drawing language standard with rich expressiveness and providing a cross-platform, lightweight, and high-performance runtime. If they are not bluffing with this, the canvas could finally replace DOM for good. But most importantly, this library will bridge the gap between design and development because this line is powerful. In fact, every single line here is mind-blowing. It's actually a lot to process and the benchmarks are crazy. Enough of the talk, let's get our hands dirty. Let's set up our projects, clone it, and install our packages, including Lifa-ui. And we are just going to copy these, create a new page, and paste it after the page has mounted. Again, to prevent server-side errors, we might have to dynamically import the package only when the page has mounted. So we are importing Lifa and Rect from Lifa-ui. Lifa is the main rendering engine and we need to initialize it. We could do that on the window, that's the full page. Then we create a Rect. Like every other Rect in the whole world, this takes in a width, a height, the X and Y coordinates, and some other values like a background color, that's the fill. And we also want this to be draggable. And finally, we add the Rect to our scene, and it looks good and simple. So let's increase the difficulty. We'll be creating some basic HTML elements inside our scene. First is an image. The parameters are similar to the Rect, but instead of a fill, let's give it a URL of the image we want. And this looks good. Let's create an SVG next. It uses an image tag, so the only difference is we will need to convert our SVG code into a URL we can use, and there is a built-in method for that. And it looks really good. The next is a canvas. It is so crazy that we could have a canvas inside a canvas. I'm just going to draw a basic triangle using the context. And it's also amazing that all these objects have almost the same parameters. The next one is definitely text. Like, what is a website without some text? Let's create one quickly. I also really like the developer experience, the TypeScript support, and the fact that it uses objects instead of having like 4 or 5 parameters. Actually, meaning when I said this could replace the dumb way of creating websites, I've been considering creating a React renderer, just like the way React Tree Fiber works. I might stream the whole session. Let me know if it's something you would love to see. But for now, let's create something more practical like a button. A button is just a box with some text, icons occasionally, and behaviors. Let's start with the box. It's just like a rect. The major difference is that we could have children, so let's define the coordinates and the sizing. A fill, some radius, and there's also an extra parameter we could use to confirm it's a button. What is a button without cursor pointer? Let's fix that. And let's also give it some text. We need to add the text as a child. Since most tags use the same structure, instead of always initializing as a class, we could just add the tag as a parameter. And we have our text. Let's give it some padding. You know what? Let's throw in an icon too. An arrow icon. And we have a nice looking button. But it's not really a button yet until it has a behavior. We could start by adding some hover interactions. Aside the base eafer-ui, we would need to install and import the state and animate packages from eafer. The state enables us to have different states for objects, and the animate is a really interesting animation package for eafer. We've imported them, so we can go ahead and define our hover styles. For the button, let's scale it, make the origin the center, increase the radius, and change the color. For the text, let's change the color too. For the icon, it will be tricky to change the color because it's an image now. So let's create another icon in another color and alternate the opacity. The button is so smooth now, it's coming to life. We should also create a pressed state for that extra feedback. So let's just decrease the scale with a nice spring animation, and it's now looking twice better. Finally, to make our button complete, let's add a click event listener. On tap, let's just log you clicked me. Beautiful. There are so many other examples in the official examples page, and the animation package is really good. I'll be exploring more of it in the next video, so please turn on your notifications. See you next time.